What up? 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 Man, I had a whole thing set up here, ladies and gentlemen, and then I couldn't figure out the echo problem, so I had to switch everything up. So I'm gonna have to read the topics one by one off of my sheet of paper, but it's okay. How are we doing? The Pebble, Stephanie, Harry, AAA, Cheryl, cold and snowy, cold and snowy. Where is it at? Where it's snowy?
Dog check!
Dog check for the snow. Welcome in the building, off-season stream. We're going to see how long we're going to do these due to participation and donation. We'll see how far we go. Can we get to the donation goal? We'll see how it goes. And we'll see the participation of the all-season streams. These may not last long. Let's see. All right, we're going to jump right into it. Right into the meat of the bone. And we're going to talk about the coaching situation of Cleveland. Because if you didn't know, we don't have one. We don't have a coach right now, but we have a bevy of coaching candidates that we can choose from. But what are your top three candidates? If you had a wish list, like a Christmas wish list, what are your top three candidates? Write them down. You put them in Santa's list. He came down the chimney, and he can give you your coach of your desires for the next Cleveland Browns head coach. Who are your top three candidates? Let me know right now. Let's go. Akron, Ohio is where it's snowy. Hope everyone's having a chill Sunday. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse that there is no Browns game today. Listen, we went off and we won, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we have to worry about is we won our last game. What is your top three coaches? Let me know your wish list. There was a 5 top candidates according to Sports Illustrated, and I can tell you who they were. Number 5 was Tommy Rees, offensive coordinator. You know who he is. It's the Browns offensive coordinator. Number 4 was Matt LaFleur, offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. You know, the brother of the Green Bay's head coach who lost last night to the Chicago Bears. Not Matt, Mike. Matt LaFleur's brother, Mike LaFleur. Sorry, excuse me. I got the Mikes and the Matts mixed up. Number 3 was Jim Schwartz. This was their top 5 coaching candidates for the Browns. You know who he is. The defensive coordinator extraordinaire. Number 2 was Mike McDaniel. I don't know how I feel about Mike McDaniel right now. That was the number 2 on Sports Illustrated of the top 5 candidates they listed. And you all know who number 1 is. And if you don't know who number 1 is by now, if you were under a rock, if you were walking a possum going to get some stale crackers and you just missed everything, the number 1 coach on everybody's list right now is the former Baltimore Ravens coach, the younger brother to Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh. Ladies and gentlemen, was the number 1 top candidate for the Cleveland Browns. Big Dollar C with the $50 donation.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
My guy, my brother, and he added an extra 99 cents just to meet the donation goal. This guy. Who are your top coaches? Let me know. That was the Sports Illustrated top 5. Appreciate you, my guy. Greatest in the 40s here. How's that couch? I love my couch, Shino. Do you like your couch? You let me know. I love my couch. Feels pretty good. If I get it down to 1, do I get it? It's your list. It's not right or it's not wrong. It's your list. Doesn't mean if it's right or it's wrong, but who was your top 3? Or do you have a top 1? Let me know. With Harbaugh's record against the Steelers, I hope y'all hire him. All right, so Shino wants Harbaugh. Churl is dapping up Big Dollar C with his donation. Making sure I got everybody. I do have everyone. All right. Had to troll a little bit today. His offense and his defense players, how can we not? His offense and our defensive players, how can we not win? It's a funny thing with Jim Harbaugh. Not Jim. John Harbaugh. I don't want Jim Harbaugh. I hate Jim Harbaugh. John Harbaugh. You can look at it two ways when it comes to John Harbaugh. I was watching The Arena with Skip Bayless and Talib Kweli, former Denver Broncos cornerback. And they were talking about Harbaugh, and they had some interesting points. They were saying when he first started Baltimore, he inherited a good roster. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, got to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl. And then after that, once they got old, he lost. He didn't get to the playoffs his last 4 or 5 seasons. And then he got Lamar Jackson. And the story unfolds itself. But he never could win and get to the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. So what they were saying was, is John Harbaugh overrated? Everybody wants John Harbaugh. Everybody is seething for John Harbaugh. But their question was, is he a little bit overrated for the demand that he is asking? And we're going to get to his demands in a little bit. Inherited a great roster with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. Won a Super Bowl. Once they got old, couldn't win. Got Lamar Jackson. Never got back to the Super Bowl. They asked, is he overrated? That's not me asking that. They were asking that. And I said, that's an interesting question for what he is demanding, what he is asking for to be the head coach of a football team. Should he be asking for this much? And should people give in to what he wants? I like the idea of Schwartz, but his record isn't the best at head coach. You're right, Stephanie. My brother in a text message told me, the Discord, put his record. I forget off the top of my head, but I said, ew, it's pretty gross. Harbaugh should be a good one. Just feel he's asking for too much. Yeah, don't put that evil of Jim on us. Imagine if y'all, something ESPN and hire Gruden or Carroll. What's that got to do with ESPN? Shino? What up, Portia? How you doing? According to Twitter, Harbaugh has already agreed head coaching job with the Giants unofficially. Don't listen. If it's not from Shefty, Shino, I don't care. If it's not from Shefty, I don't care. If it's not Shefty or Ian Rappaport, I don't care what Twitter says. I'm just telling you right now. But they do say the Giants is the number one spot for John Harbaugh. Giants, Miami, Atlanta. Then everybody else is kind of behind the pack when it comes to John Harbaugh. And my headphones is acting weird. Give me a second. He is the best available. Is this not like the draft? Maybe Signetti, great talent evaluator. Is he available? Is that even an option? Thanks for reminding me, Portia. Is that even an option? Is Signetti an option from Indiana? So, Mike, listen. If I had to pick, John Harbaugh would be my first, but I would caution John Harbaugh because I don't think Jimmy Haslam is going to give in to John Harbaugh. He wants $20 million a year. He wants $10 million for an assistant budget, and he wants total authority over the roster. He wants all roster moves to go through him. So that means Andrew Berry, goodbye, see you later, unless he wants to keep Andrew Berry. Now, I have no problem with any of that. I understand the pause of maybe, oh, maybe he inherited a good roster, and maybe, oh, maybe he had Lamar Jackson. I say phooey to all of that. You know why? Bill Belichick had Tom Brady. And then he lost Tom Brady, and what happened? So don't give me that. Every coach needs something to win. You need players to win. So don't give me that monarchy. Give me John Harbaugh. That's my number one coach. And if I'm Cleveland, I don't care what he wants. I'm giving it to him. What in the world do we have to say, well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if we can give in to that, sir. We have standards. We don't have standards. We don't have morals. Give John Harbaugh whatever he wants. If he wants the keys to the stadium, you give it to him. His pedigree says enough. I know he only has one Super Bowl. How many do we have? I can tell you on how many fingers. 0. You give John Harbaugh what he wants. If he says Andrew Berry's gone, I'll pack his suitcase today for you. That's how important to me it is to give John Harbaugh. Now, do I think we're going to get John Harbaugh? No. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that the Giants would be in the lead. I really think that. Maybe Atlanta, because of Jackson Dart, maybe Cam Ward. I don't know how he feels about Shedeur Sanders in our quarterback situation right now. Now, I understand Shedeur didn't want to be behind Lamar Jackson. Maybe John Harbaugh's petty. He's like, you know what? You didn't want to be on my team before. I don't want you now. But John Harbaugh does have Cleveland, Ohio ties. His mom, his family, he grew up rooting for the Cleveland Browns. So maybe that will tug on his heartstring. I think that's the only thing we can hope for John Harbaugh to come to the Cleveland Browns organization. Because you can't go off the organization's pedigree. You can't say we have a great owner. There's nothing you can say that goes, wow, let's come to Cleveland. But the heartstrings, the childhood, and rooting for Cleveland, for John Harbaugh to come here. Now, I did hear that he likes Tommy Rees as an offensive coordinator, so that gives us a plus. Would he keep Jim Schwartz? That's something to see. But New York is leading the race right now for John Harbaugh. Let's see. How do I have you blocked, Selmo? Where are you at? What do you mean I got you blocked? I didn't block you. Did somebody block Selmo, Tupac Shadore? Did somebody block Tupac Shadore? I didn't block you, Tupac Shadore. You don't show blocked on my end. You show good to go. Appreciate the donation. I don't see your comment though. Last place finish, incoming 26. Corey, do you think number 12 is going to be number 1 next year? I am glad you asked that question. We're going to talk about Shedeur during this stream, and I think we're going to talk about him now. But I don't see Tupac Shedeur anywhere. That is weird. You don't show blocked on my end. Thank you for the $2 donation, my guy. That is weird.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Okay. I don't think John Harbaugh is going to be our coach. So I think we have to go to plan B. They're in the hiring process. If I look at my phone here, I took a picture because I knew this was going to come up of the Browns coaching tracker. That's the wrong picture. The Browns so far have interviewed Jim Schwartz, Tommy Rees, Dan Pitcher, Bengals offensive coordinator, Aiden Durd, Seahawks offensive coordinator, and Todd Monken, Ravens offensive coordinator. They have interviewed those following individuals I just read off to you so far in the coaching search. Now, Mike McDaniel is scheduled to interview Dolphins head coach. They have reached out to John Harbaugh. They have reached out to Jesse Minter, Chargers defensive coordinator, and Nate Skillhass, Rams passing coordinator. They have reached out to him as well in their coaching search to replace Kevin Stefanski. So we have to keep an eye out for the Browns' next coach. Last place finish, you would hope. Pittsburgh fans already cheering for our downfall. You worry about the Houston Texans. That's what you worry about. Okay? Worry about Houston. That's what you worry about, Jeff and Shino. Worry about Houston. Please pack Andrew's suitcase ASAP. Y'all not liking AB? Okay. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. I'm so mad. I had everything prepared and then the echo. I am so annoyed right now, but it's okay. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. Did he do enough to be QB1? Did he do enough? 1,410 yards in his 7 starts, 8 games, 7 starts. He got through into the Ravens game, 10 interceptions, 57.4 completion percentage, 143 yards rushing, and 1 touchdown on the ground. He had low moments. He had high moments. It doesn't tell you about the mid-shaped line that he played with, the receiving crew that he played with, drop passes, tip passes. That doesn't show the whole story. Those are just his numbers. Did he do enough to beat QB1? Yes or no? That is the question. I already know the answer, but that is the question. Let me know. Andrew Berry needs to go. I hate that one good draft saved him. Laser Eyes better make the right choice at coach and kill the next draft because he has an extra first rounder. Y'all should totally interview Terrell Austin. He'd be a great fit. So that means he sucks. Because if Shino wants us to interview him, he must be absolute garbage. I think next year it will be Sanders starting and Watson backup. Yes, he did, because if the Browns mess this up and trade him in a package deal to a team that needs a quarterback, he's going to win. Sanders. What up, big dog? How you doing, big dog? I don't know. I seen big dog and just had to do the big dog bark. You know what I'm saying?
Dog check!
Book it, Harbaugh. Corey, do you think? I read that one. I want to make sure I didn't miss a comment. I still don't see Selmo on here. If you're here, Selmo, type. Because it doesn't show you hidden for me. That is weird. All right. What do we got here? Good morning, good morning. What can you say about the Chicago Bears win? I can say the Packers fans should be sick to their stomach. Their kicker should be fired. There is no way they should have lost that game. But I will say, they won me a FanDuel bet. So, hey, Chicago, thank you very much. SS12 did enough for us to try and build around him, but have a real QB competition this offseason that I'm sure he will win. I've never seen his comment either. He had a donation, but I didn't see a comment. But if somebody banned him, you won't see a comment. So if he got banned by somebody, I'm going to be very upset. Because Tupac Shadore shouldn't have been banned. The answer is yes. However, it's not going to be just given to him at 26. He'll have a competition. So, Scott from Florida, what up? Did he do enough to be QB1? In my eyes, yes. But my eyes don't mean anything when it comes to this conversation, because the Cleveland Browns are not going to give anybody the quarterback position going into 2026. So, to piggyback off that, do you think there will be a QB competition going into the Browns season? Yes, I'm going to answer the question for you. I think he did enough to be QB1 to at least going into training camp having the upper leg on everybody else. I think there will be a quarterback competition going into camp. I'm going to answer my own question. Will there be a quarterback competition? Yes, there will be. But I believe Shedeur Sanders did enough to at least go into that competition leading the race. Unlike last year, where he started number 4, throwing to equipment managers, children on the sidelines, cheerleaders, random fans getting into their car. He at least should be the leader going into camp, having to lose the job. It shouldn't go to whoever makes the most money. It shouldn't go to a random person you sign from free agency. It should be the one who won his last 2 games against the Steelers, against the Bengals. It should be that guy going into camp QB1, having to lose the job. In my opinion, but once again, does my opinion matter to the Browns staff? No. Not at all. Is there things he has to fix? Yes, there is. And you know the most thing I hate about Browns fans? Not all Browns fans, some Browns fans. They nitpick this young man to death. We know he has things to fix. That's what camp is for. That's what being a young quarterback is for. He is the most picked apart young quarterback I have seen in my lifetime. It is ridiculous. We know he is not the perfect quarterback. He has things that he has to clean up. And hopefully, he will get the chance to do so. We'll see, though. Let's see. What did I miss? I missed a lot. Put your name in the running for the coach position. Completion percentage is the alarming stat right now. Not to say that it can't be improved. And that's one of the things. And a lot of those things were like throwaways. He did have some missed throws, though. He did have missed throws. That has to be cleaned up. But a lot were throwaways. And I just want to see Shedeur with a good line. Please help us. Give us a line. We all know about the QB completion. Don't trust those words. Sanders has to earn the job. Good day, Corey. Love you. What up, Tina? How are you doing? It's all love. It don't make sense. Santa is the best quarterback on the team, and he let the good in some of those rookies. But New Orleans, they already sound their quarterback, which I think is 50-50. I agree. I like that setup. Yes, they did nitpick special media. They never seen nobody like Sanders. He beat out Gabriel for sure, but rest assured the next coach will bring in a veteran QB. You need to be Browns staff, Browns media, Browns color commentary. You know what? Suit up, Corey. Imagine the old Watson training Sanders. Those are number 12 haters. Some are haters, Jeff. You are right. But I think some are just Browns fans who like being in this wheel of getting a quarterback because they just don't know anything else. You know? What up, Poetically Pen? How you doing? I don't think I said hi when you came in. Jeff, I think I said hi when you came in. How you doing, Tina? I said hi to Big Dog. I don't know if I said hi to Michael Newport. How are you doing as you come into the stream? Make sure you hit that like button. We're going to try to do off-season streams. It's going to depend on participation and donation goals. Big Dollar C said, what up? And Selmo said, what up? I still haven't seen Selmo in the comment section. He said he's blocked, but I don't know how he got blocked. Selmo, if you can hear me, make another YouTube profile and make it Selmo, new profile. I don't know why you're blocked. But I think there will be a QB competition, and I think it's going to be between Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel. I don't think there needs to be another quarterback. I think we're wasting roster spots if you bring in somebody else. A lot of people don't like the Deshaun Watson part. I don't like it either, but it's a fact. And guess what? He's a veteran. He is a veteran quarterback. There's your veteran. And then you have your 2 sophomore quarterbacks. You don't need another one. You can get somebody, put them on the practice squad. That's fine. But you don't need to bring anybody else in. You need to focus on other parts of the team. Line, receiver, and more line and more receiver. And guess what? More line. Doing very good? Good. They have one in the building already, Corey. I think I just addressed that. After watching the Packers-Bears game last night and the time those QBs had, if only 12 had a smidge of that. Facts. 5.40 time kills it. 5.3. How do you know it's 5.3, Jeff? He didn't run a 40 in the NFL Combine. How do you know? Did you watch him run his 40? Did you clock it? Were you on the field? I want to see it. Send me the time in him running his 40. People put things in the chat, but they don't have the facts and the stats to back it up. I want to see it. Send me a video of the 5.3 40. Send it to me now. I want to see it. Jimmy's already picked the QB. The Bears stuck with Caleb. That seemed to have worked out. Sanders. I think Caleb's the wrong comparison, Tina. Bryce Young for Carolina is the perfect example of sticking with your quarterback. Everybody wanted to throw Bryce Young out of the window. Bryce Young is terrible. He's no good. We need another quarterback. Bryce Young. He did all he could do yesterday to win it for his team. He threw the touchdown to give them the lead. The only thing he did wrong was leave Matt Stafford time. Nobody thought they would even be in the game yesterday. Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers are on the rise. Nobody picked them to win their division. They beat out Tampa Bay. They beat out Atlanta. I am proud of Bryce Young. Everybody threw him into the dirt. They said he was no good, but Carolina stuck with him. They said, we are going to work with the quarterback we drafted. Oh, my God. Think about that. They didn't say he sucked and drafted another quarterback a year after. Now, I know he was the first pick in the draft. I understand it. But just think about sticking with your quarterback for a second and what it can do for you if you get your quarterback weapons and you get your quarterback protection and you give your quarterback a sign of hope and a sign of confidence, what it can do for him. I'm doing good, politically pinned. I forgot about Watson, so he will be the veteran in the mix. I also think Shedeur has shown incredible character in the face of unfair treatment. Oh, his character. Listen, people can say what they want about Shedeur on the field, but off the field, he has shown nothing but grace. Brown fan showed up at the draft day. I'll buy a Steelers jersey. What up, Erica? You're right on. Rookies need time to grow up to the NFL speed. Like, for some reason, this generation just wants instant success, like instant oatmeal, like an instant lean pocket. You put it in there, or a hot pocket. You put it in there for a minute and 30 seconds. You're ready to go, ready to eat it. That's not how the quarterback position works. You can't put them in a microwave, and they're just good to go. Instant oatmeal quarterbacks. That's not how it works. They have to develop. They have to learn. You have your anomalies like Andrew Luck, who's just ready to roll. Peyton Manning was absolute garbage his first year. Terrible. And he's arguably a top 5 QB. Not arguably. He's a top 5 QB in NFL history. Not arguably. He is. You got to let them. You got to let them grow. With number 12 next year at the very worst, playoff bound, barring injury. You're right on. I said that one. Okay. What is Cleveland's draft priority? I had all this stuff, all these graphics ready to roll. What is Cleveland's draft priority? What should they be prioritizing in the draft? Let me know. Cleveland, they have 2 first-round picks, ladies and gentlemen. Then they have a second-round pick, a third-round pick, a fourth-round pick. They have 2 fifth-round picks, one from the Raiders, 3 fifth-round picks, their own fifth-round pick. They have the Raiders' fifth-round pick, and they have the Bengals' fifth-round pick. They have a 6th-round pick from the Bears, and then they have a 7th-round pick from the Seattle Seahawks. What should be their priority in the draft? Let me know. Let me know. And if you haven't already, hit that like button for me. It'll be greatly appreciated. That's a way to support. Donation, super chat is a way to support the channel. Keep these off-season streams going. It will let me know if you want to keep these going. There will be no more watch parties, but we can keep off-season streams going. Now, I wasn't a hot pocket and a great QB. We need to get a coach that can develop Sanders. NFL ready, crazy work. Receiver, number 1 receiver, line. I'm laughing my buttocks off your screen. Thank you, Tina. O-line. I think they need an O-line, a couple wide receivers. They definitely do not need no quarterback. They'll be waste of a pick. A couple of top receivers. What up, Steve? Receiver, O-line. I'm very apprehensive about them getting another QB. They have someone to work with. Listen, I see everybody. I've looked at mock drafts for the first round for the Browns. I've seen Jordan Tyson all over the place as the receiver the Browns are going to get. Most of the draft, Carnell Tate is picked like the pick before the Browns. I've seen like one, I think it was Field Yates, who had Carnell Tate going to the Browns. And then with their second pick, they're picking a lineman with the Jacksonville pick. And with our luck, Jacksonville is just a freaking good football team, and they're in the playoffs playing the Bills in a half an hour. Of course. So their pick sucks. But they had the lineman as being the Browns' second pick and a receiver being their first pick. Jordan Tyson was the one that was picked most. I want Carnell Tate for obvious reasons. 1, he was a Buckeye, and 2, he's very good. Carnell Tate is very good. That's who I want. Now, I haven't watched a lot of Jordan Tyson. I will if the Browns select him. Now, my fear is the Browns will do what Browns do. They'll trade down and keep trading down and keep trading down. And don't pick anybody I want. Get some big hogs in there to protect 12. He's surgical with the ball. O-line receiver, or one of the D-line guys from the Hurricane. Listen, Michael, who was Bain? Listen, I'll tell you this. Bain from Miami. If we can find a way to get him, not in the first round. Not in the first round. Because I think, listen, as good as he is, we still got to prioritize receiver and line. But if we can get Bain from that dude was terrorizing my Buckeyes. Somebody block him, please. Holy crap. I'm with you on that. That dude is a monster. But I want Carnell Tate. Now somebody's telling me Tyson is injury prone. Tate did get injured this year. I don't think he's injury prone. And I think with Carnell Tate, it was more precautionary because the Buckeyes knew they would steamroll everybody before they got to Michigan. So they were being very cautious with Carnell Tate. Before that, he was fine. So I don't think he's injury prone. I don't know about Jordan Tyson. I haven't watched him play. So I don't know if he's injury prone. I only can go from what you tell me. But I'm going receiver, O-line. O-line some more. And O-line some more in receiver. They need a left tackle. What was Tom Brady his first year? A backup to Drew Bledsoe. Francis McGuire, if they can get him. If not, Caleb Downs for the secondary because he's too good to pass on. I don't think he'll be there by the time he gets to the Browns. Caleb Downs is the best safety I've seen in college football play. Me see. Now, I didn't get to see Ed Reed play in Miami. I didn't get to see him play. I didn't get to see Ronnie Lott play because I was too young. But with me, with my own eyes, watch the game of football, Caleb Downs is the best safety I have ever seen. Now, this is me watch. I didn't get to see the Ronnie Lotts and the Ed Reeds and the Palomalus because I didn't watch them. I watched every game he played at Ohio State. He is an absolute monster. Well, since a new owner isn't in order, How about a new voice of Browns? I nominate Corey to be the voice of the Browns this coming year. Anyone agree? Appreciate you, Steve. Draft lineman first. Will always be opportunities in free agency to get a No, Tina. Have you not learned from our mistakes drafting receiver in free agency? Dwayne Bowe. Those are the receivers we get in free agency. We have to get both in the draft, or we'll wind up with Jerry Jeudy's of the world. We got to get receivers and linemen in the draft. Listen, do we remember Dwayne Bowe? Oh, Lord. That might have been the worst free agent receiver signing ever. Is there anybody worse than Dwayne Bowe you guys can think of that we signed in free agency? As a receiver? I don't think I can think of a worse one. I still am traumatized. As soon as Tina said free agency receiver, I was traumatized by Dwayne Bowe. Just traumatized. Tate and Tyson both. I don't think Tate's injury prone. He was just injured this year. I don't think he's injury prone. I don't know about Tyson. I can't speak on Tyson. I think they should cut Jeudy and sign another veteran one receiver. Indy Hoosiers have 15 NFL players. They should get safety Shiloh Sanders. No, we don't want Shiloh Sanders. I know you guys love the Sanders family. Listen, if we're getting a safety, it needs to be Caleb Downs. It's the only safety I want. He is absolute. Absolute. KD is going top 10. Breaking news, Cleveland.com. The Browns organization wants Schwartz to take over head coach. I don't know how I feel about that. His head coaching record is not very good. I don't know how I feel about that. Let me Google his record. It was in Discord. I don't know how I feel about that, AAA. Now, I know people can change, so I'm not going to hold it against him, but let me Google Jim Schwartz coaching record. Head coaching record. Let's Google it, chat. Jim Schwartz head coaching record. Let's Google it. 29-52, all with the Lions. And 52 from 2009 to 2013. One playoff appearance in 11 when the team went 10-6. That's his head coaching pedigree. Now, great defensive coordinator. Now, he did take over after they went 0-16. So we have to put, the pieces together to the story of his head coaching record. Now, he could obviously have gotten better as a coach. Everybody gets better as they get older in life. You learn from life. But that is his head coaching record. Take what you want from that. But I wanted to give you context with Jim Schwartz as a head coach. How do we feel about that? If they do go with Jim Schwartz. Now, taking over the Lions is a tough task. 0-16, that's a tough thing to do, right? Very tough. Everybody's not Mike Vrabel. Now, the Patriots weren't 0-16 last year, but they were in a sad state of affairs. But they already had Drake May, which helped Mike Vrabel. How do we feel about that if they decide to go the route of Jim Schwartz? Now, they got a lot of things to do. They got a lot of people to interview to make their due diligence. But how would we feel if they went Jim Schwartz? How would you feel? 2013, Stephanie, 13 years ago was his last coaching gig, 2009 to 2013. The last time we did the whole promote from within was Freddie Kitchens. Freddie, good old Freddie. If you don't wear brown and orange, you don't matter. Don't want no trust anyone that was under Schwartz will be there because Myers and the rest of the team love him. Carter Smith, Indiana University, would be a great pick for the O-line. Anything O-line, I love it. Anything O-line, I love it. Honestly, don't know who would be a good coach for us. Can we get a coach who, I don't know, wants to be here and is, what's the word, competent, asking for a friend? Kevin Stefanski started off competent. And then, after a while, just a myriad of bad things happened. But Kevin Stefanski started off Coach of the Year, playoffs. So, things just happen to go sideways. I mean, the last time we did I read that one. I remember when Schwartz was intern head coach for St. Louis, he sucked there too. Why move him? He is perfect for the defense. Now we need offense. You guys are making some good points. That's why I like the chat. That's why I read your guys', because you guys know football as well. That's why I read the chat. A lot of YouTubers don't, because the YouTubers think they know everything. I don't know everything, and I say it. I don't care what you have to give. Harbaugh is the only answer. How you doing, Mike? Mike, I know you weren't here from the beginning. I echoed the same sentiment. Harbaugh's my guy. I don't care what you have to give to get John Harbaugh. Do it. We're not in a part of the organization where we can say, well, I don't know if I want to do. Why not? What are we talking about? Well, John Harbaugh wants $20 million. He wants $10 million for his assistant coaching budget, and he wants roster approval. He wants everything with the roster to go through him. So what? Have you seen us the last 2 years? Besides Kevin Stefanski, the beginning, all of our coaches have sucked. Butch Davis had a little run where he was good. But that's it. They've all sucked. We don't have a track record where we could go, well, we don't want to pick you, sir. We'll go somewhere else. No, if that's what he wants, you give it to John Harbaugh. We'll figure out the rest. He's my number one. He's my guy. And then after that, we can pick. We can pick after that. Okay? Then we can decide who we want. Is it Jim Schwartz? Is it Mike McDaniel? Is it Todd Monken? Is it Mike LaFleur? We go from there. But that's just me. Give me Harbaugh. Let's see here. Tyson's never played a full season in college football. Oh, I'm out on Jordan Tyson. I'm out. That's all I need to hear. Give me Carnell Tate or nobody. I'm out on Jordan Tyson. Don't sound too good or promising. How about we start a coaching position knowing it's a good coach instead of a guess? He has rapport with the whole team. Don't say his name anymore. Stefanski is done. Amen, brother. The Browns should go trade for Jimmy Horton Jr. because he's top 10 in the league in speed. He knows how to get separation, and with his speed, he keeps safeties honest. Jimmy Horton Jr. Jimmy Horton Jr. Jimmy Horton Jr. Jimmy Horton Jr. You mean Jimmy Horn? The one who sold Carolina yesterday? Is that who you're talking about? Or is that who you're talking about, Jimmy Horn? Who sold Carolina down the river? Harbaugh wanted Shedeur to be the backup. Facts. I wouldn't hate Jim Schwartz as a head coach, but what would we do at both head coach in DC? I can't tell if Tommy Rees is the move at OC based on last year's offense. It depends. How does he feel about 12? He needs a coach that believes in him and will at least say his name. Also, who would he choose for OC? Those are the unknowns, ladies and gentlemen. That is what figure out. What does Jim Schwartz want? Does he believe in Shadore? Does he want to go a different route? Does he want his own quarterback? Does he want to bring Lamar with him? That was a joke. It's not happening. But we would have to figure all that out. I heard he likes Tommy Rees. supposedly, according to Mary Kay Cabot. So maybe Tommy Rees stays. I don't know if he likes Jim Schwartz. That's what the interview process is for. And we will figure these things out if they get an interview with Jim Schwartz next week. Supposedly, he is making his decision at the end of next week. And I still think the Giants are in the leading for John Harbaugh. This is just good conversation. I don't think he's coming to Cleveland, unfortunately, unless Jimmy Haslam breaks out the checkbook like he did for Deshaun Watson, Fred. Unless, like he did for Deshaun Watson. You still like Jimmy? Now, do you like Jimmy Horn for Colorado reasons? Did he go to Colorado? Am I right in that aspect? Tyreek Hill would be nice too. Harbaugh is your first choice. Honestly, dream coaching lineup: Harbaugh, McDaniel, and DC Schwartz. He can bring Lamar if he wants. I really wish we can get A.J. Brown from Philadelphia. Listen, I'm not mad at that. I don't know A.J. Brown's contract situation, but A.J. Brown wants to be a number one wide receiver that gets the football. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. I would go get him if he was available because he would be the clear-cut number one at Cleveland. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I'm saying? Saquon Barkley is that dude. He's that guy. You got to get him the ball. Devontae Smith, he ain't no scrub. He could be a 1A, a 1B. Devontae Smith is that dude. Heisman Trophy winner. Devontae Smith. You come to Cleveland, I don't think it's going to happen. A.J. Brown, I'm not saying it's going to happen. But he will be clear-cut number one. There is nobody else on this roster that's sniffing A.J. Brown in the talent pool at the wide receiver position. No disrespect to Judkins, but he's no Saquon Barkley. It's not like you got to get Judkins touches. You give him touches, but you know what I'm saying. He's not Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley had a chance to break the rushing record last year that takes touches away from Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is retired. I meant A.J. Brown. So is Watson not playing next season? Watson, you must have just got in here, Spencer Moody. We talked about Watson earlier. We talked about him. And he is the veteran quarterback that everybody is talking about the Browns need. We already have a veteran quarterback. Now, Spencer, to my dismay, I don't want anything to do with Deshaun Watson anymore because I gave him all of my energy and all of my faith, and he let me down. But my feelings don't matter, and he will be in a QB competition this year with Shedeur, with Dylan, and hopefully that's it, Spencer. I'm talking to you because I read the comment. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully they don't bring in another quarterback because it will be a waste of time and a waste of a roster spot that could go to a tackle or a guard or a center or a receiver. What we need most. But yes, he will be the veteran in the room. He will be part of the competition. And before we get off here, like I said, I believe going into camp, regardless who the coach is, whether it's Jim Schwartz, whether it's Mike McDaniel, whether it's Todd Monken, whether it's Mike LaFleur, whether it's John Harbaugh, no matter who it is, I believe from the bottom of my Tootsie Toes that Shedeur Sanders has earned the right, at least in camp, to be the leader to start for the Browns. Now, what happens in camp is up to Shedeur and the quarterbacks. If somebody is better, then they leap, and they're the starter. But he should be in the Flacco position that Flacco was in. Okay, or Kenny Pickett was in. If you still believe Kenny Pickett was going to be the starter, then fine. What Kenny Pickett was in. The leader, the QB1, when preseason starts, he's the starter with the first team, and you go from there. I don't care if somebody makes $230 million and 16 cents. Doesn't matter to me. That's what I think. That's my opinion on the matter before we get out of here. I think Shedeur should go in QB1, no matter who the coach is, and we go from there. Down to my Tootsie Toes. Shout out Simon Miller. If you know, you know. They should off Gabriel and Zappi for Russell Wilson. I also think Watson is a waste. I got to do it just you going Mendoza. Listen, Mike, listen. I admit things, right? I don't like Mendoza just because of the same reason people don't like Sanders. They have no reason. I have no reason other than I'm tired of hearing about Mendoza. But I will say this. Dude is balling. That's what some people can't do, right? I can admit things. Dude is balling. Indiana looks like Ohio State last year. Ohio State last year wiped out everybody on the map. Took no prisoners. That's what Indiana's doing. They are cleaning everybody out. Mendoza looks good. I can admit it. I don't like him, but I can admit when somebody's playing well. A lot of people can't do it, and I don't know why. He's playing well. Congratulations to Mendoza. I still don't like him. But congratulations to Mendoza. I think Indiana's going to win the championship. Miami's defense is pretty good, but I think Indiana is just the better team. They're rolling. They're on fire. I think the Big Ten is going to win national championships back-to-back seasons. And I think the Raiders are going, don't you disrespect Joe Burrow and call him 2.0. He is not better than Joe Burrow, Michael. I will not let you do that. He has not taken it down yet in the NFL. He is not Joe Burrow 2.0. He is not better than Joe Burrow. That's when I crossed the line. He is not better than Joe Burrow. But I will give props when props is due. Mendoza's playing in Indiana. Is playing well. They're going to win it all. And the Jets are going to draft him. But the difference is, when he goes to the Jets, he's not going to have those weapons. He'll probably be running for his life. And then we'll see how good he is. But right now, he's looked good. But Michael, don't you disrespect Joe Burrow like that. Super Bowl appearance. When he's in, they win. Until he goes up against Myles Garrett and Shedeur Sanders. I appreciate all of you for coming to our first off-season stream. We're going to look to keep doing these. If the participation is there, we meet the goal, we'll be here. We're going to try to keep doing this because the watch parties are gone. Doesn't mean we still can't chill on Sunday. Not you, Michael. It was Michael Newport who said Joe Burrow 2.0. It's all love, though, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. We'll have to see what happens. Whenever we get our coach, we'll talk about it. Until next time, you guys know the drill. It's all love. Peace.